What is going on, Fight fans? So I had to do this. Obviously, we have to compare and contrast the latest trailer with the previous trailer. So the trailer from July compared to the trailer that just came out in February. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so I'm going to compare a few things, just a few things, because it's kind of unfair, really, to do apples to apples with this and the other one, because of how much they've pushed forward. But I'm going to compare the way they're moving. I'm going to compare the punches, obviously. I'm going to compare the looking at the invisible wall versus looking at it without the invisible wall, and graphics. Those are the only things I'm going to compare. I'm not going to go deep dive and try to piece things together. The only thing I'm going to piece together is that. So I have everything already stitched. I've edited this video, and then so this is a meta edit, and then we're editing this video to put it up on YouTube. So first, we're gonna look at the movement. So this is the movement. I don't want punches thrown. Just want to see the movement. This is the movement from the trailer that just passed. This is all the movement from the trailer that just passed, and we're gonna look at the movement from the July trailer. So this is the movement from the July trailer. I would say the movement has roughly remained somewhat the same, but the good thing about the movement is that it was always good anyways. So the movement hasn't changed much. But if it's not broke, don't fix it if it's not broke. So now we're gonna look at the punch comparison. So these are the punches, and you can kind of see the invisible wall actually taking place right here too. As he's pushing up, he can't really get inside, but these are how the punches are coming out. You see how they're coming out really floaty. They're coming out pretty good in terms of where his hand placements are, but they're really floaty. Like there's like air holding it back, pushing air into the arm, so they can't really punch with a good snap, basically. So it's like a lot of air, like that's what you can see. But here you can see that they're just snapping out those punches. Boom, 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 boom. It's very, very different. Look how they're snapping those punches out. Very, very different. One other thing that I noticed, let me just go back real quick, is the gloves. The gloves have changed. The gloves have a flatter look. You see how they have a flatter look here? It's very flat, almost like it's straight on the top and then just kind of curves in. So it has that little flat look. Look at how the gloves look. Look how flat and little they look. And look how full these gloves look. They have a fullness to it now. You see that? A more realistic kind of fullness to the gloves, instead of having that straight flat look like that little. The other gloves look really, really little because of that flat look. So these are the punches here as compared to the punches over there. You can see a complete difference. Here we're looking at the invisible wall. Like you can see he's pushed up, he's moving, but he cannot get past that. Here you can see that they are 100% up against each other. 100%. Like gloves are overlapping, overlaying, heads are like touching each other. You know what I mean? Look at that. Gloves are, see his glove, Rocky Marciano's gloves overlaying Joe Louis's glove. It's crazy how insane, like such a small thing, but such a difficult thing to implement, and it's never really been seen to this degree ever. But look at that, man. Look at that. And then we're going to look at the graphics. I chose this one because it's got a darker lighting. I think this is the most fair one to try to compare to the new one. So these are the graphics that we're seeing from back then, but then these are the graphics now. It looks like the graphics have been dramatically improved as well, which is kind of crazy considering that the graphics were already kind of crazy to begin with. But yeah, look at this, man. This looks beautiful. This right here looks absolutely beautiful. You can see the fullness. You see how it looks full now. You see how it looks full now as compared to how flat these look. See how flat they look? They look really, really flat. Look at it in motion. Look how flat the gloves look. Look how flat they look. They look pretty flat. So it's kind of cool to see how flat they look. See how flat they look? It's kind of cool to see that now they got a fullness to them. They got a roundness to them. And I think that's really, really good You could just see they're not satisfied. They're constantly improving it, constantly making it a better product. They want to make the quintessential boxing combat sports game when it releases, and kudos to them for doing this. I'm super excited about it. I'm gonna go ahead and run it through without no pauses, just one more time, just straight through so we can see everything, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. But I think that this is fascinating to constantly look at the improvements and actually not just remember what it looks like, but actually compare it and see how much it has improved. Here we go. We got the footwork going. We got the footwork going here. Footwork with Carl Froch. I included this because Carl Froch is doing a lot of footwork here. He's doing the loose footwork movement, so I wanted to include this clip. And then we see Oakley doing the loose footwork movement here. It's pretty similar, pretty close. I would say that the new trailer is slightly better in terms of the footwork, but the footwork was pretty decent already. It was pretty good. Forget decent, it was really good. Now we're looking at the punches, the differences in between the punches, and you can see the airiness in it and the kind of like the wider strikes. How you see how airy it is, how much it's like there's a big fan pushing all punches back. Here, there's a snap. There's a snappiness to it. A snap. Obviously, they still got to tweak some stuff. I like the flow of that. It's just the punches are just coming out. Look at that. Punches just coming out with no pause. The only pause you see is when they're loading up with the power modifier. But other than that, it's just flow, flow, flow. As opposed to here, he's not throwing power modifiers, but it's still, there's a choppiness there. And that also showed how, you know, there was an invisible wall there. Now there's no invisible wall. You literally can be right up against your fighter. It's unbelievable. And they implemented this just from July all the way to now to March. And this is a complex system. Like the physics can get wacky on something like this if you don't do it right. So for them to pull this off is fantastic. And I love the fullness of the gloves, man. The gloves are so full. It looks so good. So good. You can see Joe Louis there defending. Here we're looking at the graphics. I use the darker color scheme or darker environment, darker lighting so that it can match as much as possible. But if you look at this and then you look at this, it is not close, man. Something happened, bro. They turned the graphics up to 200% or something, man. Because look at this. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, guys, let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think about the last trailer compared to this trailer? Do you think is as good or it's the same? Do you think nothing really has changed? I mean, from what I saw here and from what I showed you, clearly it is incredibly improved. Especially the main thing that everybody was focused on was the punches, and that is insanely improved compared to the last trailer. But I do want to know what your thoughts are. Leave them down in the comment section below. And of course, as always, guys, giving you that ESBC news, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you haven't yet, because this is going to be one of the premier places to get ESBC content. Till the next one, guys, peace out.